I think what's really common is that artists don't have any um, logical and consistent process for pricing. That I could say is true. It's hard for me to tell since I'm not really following what other artists are doing on a larger scale in terms of whether or not they're overpricing or underpricing their stuff. But what I have noticed, at least with the people that I've worked with, is that there's zero consistent, like purposeful, intended process for pricing. And instead, it is essentially based on something really simple, like just their height, the width of the painting at a dollar rate, which is widely wrong if you are painting both tiny, tiny pieces and really large pieces in your essential range of products. You can essentially underpay yourself in a small painting and then overpay yourself in a large painting, which then maybe not ever sell. So and that seems to be the only type of like recognized pricing structure that anyone's ever heard of before. And so when this client of mine offered to kind of help me figure out what I needed to make in a year and to figure out what my prices would then cost, it sat so well with me, and I think it worked so beautifully because it wasn't based on the paintings themselves. It was based on what my income needs were, which is something I hadn't really ever considered before. You know, all the other jobs I'd ever had in my life, that the entity that I was working for set what the value was, and I could say, yes, I'll take that job. Or I could say, no, it's not enough money for the work that I want. I want more money, or something like that. But I had never really actually asked myself, well, what was the dollar amount that I would need in order to make a living? And so that question alone was just, it essentially just changed the whole look of it, because it came from a perspective that had nothing to do with even what it is the product I was making. It wouldn't have mattered whether I was making widgets or making paintings, or whether the income was coming from teaching, or if it was coming from prizes won or brush sales or whatever. It wouldn't really matter what the income was coming from. Essentially, the answer to the question lied with what it is that you actually need in order to survive. And so that kind of took me to a whole nother perspective of how to think about what I should make, and really thinking that that's what any person who makes a normal income would need to make.